Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I wanted to talk about Dead City, and I really wanted to get into the titles and I guess discuss the synopsises for the episodes, because we do have that out there right now, and they're all pretty vague, I'll just say that, but the episode titles it's more what I want to focus on because it's actually quite interesting. There's actually a title that really does stand out, and I really do wonder if we're going to see the return of a certain character. So before we go any further, obviously make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this, and go follow me on Twitch. My channel name is Appetite for the Dead. I'll likely be live there later on today. Now, as for my Fear the Walking Dead review, I'm gonna have my review out tomorrow. I'm just gonna try it out, this Sunday. I think it could make sense maybe to just do my reviews on Sunday, since the episode does release Thursday, but it's so close to Sunday, so I'm gonna try that out. I'm gonna do an episode 2 review, and then an episode 3 trailer breakdown, because first of all, what we learn in episode 2 really does change the game. It's a very big episode of Fear the Walking Dead, and it really does have ramifications for the entire Walking Dead universe. So I want to discuss that. I really want to get into that. So yeah, I'll talk about that tomorrow in my review and stuff. But yeah, anyways, for those wondering about my Fear review, it'll be coming out tomorrow. But let's get into the titles here for Dead Cities. So yeah, the full list of titles was released for season 1 of Dead City, and I'm getting this here from at TWalkingDWorld on Twitter. I'll leave a link down below to the account. Definitely go give it a follow. And the first episode here is titled Old Acquaintances, which, yeah, obviously is referring to Maggie and Negan, and it's going to be them, getting together. And, well, I guess it's not them getting together to hang out. They're just sort of running into each other. But yeah, it's going to be one of those, I'm sure, typical premieres where it just, like, you have those two characters together, you sort of learn what the story and the plot is going to be, and you have our characters, probably in New York City by the end of the episode. Episode 2 is titled Who's There? Episode 3 is titled People Are a Resource, and we'll come back to this one. Episode 4, Everybody Wins a Prize. Episode 5, Stories We Tell Ourselves. Episode 6, Doma Smo, if I'm saying that right. Now, when you're looking at the episode titles overall, like if I'm giving my first reaction to it, like, you can sort of see the overall flow here. So like the first episode, they're sort of, we're introduced to the characters again, and we see where the story is likely going to be going, or we sort of see the setup for that story. Episode 2, Who's There, likely gets into some of the other stuff like the villains and other things like that. Episode 3, People Are a Resource. Now, I think this is where, obviously this is, getting to the halfway point of the season, and I think this is where we're likely going to be learning a lot more about the overall, narrative of why the Croat. See, I really can't say his name until I hear it pronounced. Like, I said Croat, and some people were saying it's wrong, and then it might just be Croat, sort of like Croatian, so just Croat, I guess. I'll go with that for this video, and you guys let me know if I'm right or wrong. And please don't screw with me, because I'm struggling here. But this episode is titled People Are a Resource, and, I've wondered if they could bring back the character of Simon for this episode, because that is something that I guess was always sort of said by, well, I guess said by Negan quite a bit, and then I believe he said it as well in that scene with the scavengers. I could be wrong, I'm trying to remember, but this line though right here, like this episode title tells me everything. Like, for sure, I believe the Croat is after Negan because of something that happened during the Savior arc. And honestly, I've always had the impression that it was something that happened beforehand, like something that happened before we saw the Savior's form, but maybe it was something that happened during All Out War, right? Like, maybe it was specifically something that happened with Simon, and maybe there's a connection between Simon and the Croat, because having the episode title People Are a Resource, like, I mean, maybe it's not necessarily connected to Simon, but, like, I don't know, it feels like it kind of is, but it's definitely a Savior reference. Like, that was something that Negan really believed, and that was sort of the foundation. I mean, I think they actually even talk about that. There's a line like that, I think, in one of the episodes. But that was, like, the foundation of the Saviors, and of that entire arc, of the Sanctuary. Like, that's how Negan viewed everybody, and that's just sort of what he told everybody, and everybody bought into it. And so there's some sort of connection to that arc here and the current story. And so this episode here, episode 3, titled People Are a Resource, is definitely a reference to that, and I'm really looking forward to this one here. I do think, like, at this point, we're going to know who all the characters are. We're probably going to see some really cool stuff. We'll have been in New York City, in Manhattan for quite a while already at this point. And they're going to be getting into some really interesting stuff here. And I really wonder if this is where we learn specifically about the connection to the Saviors, because I really do believe it's going to be made. And there's been a lot of talk about Simon apparently returning. There's been, some stuff like that out there. And so I just wonder if there's sort of a connection here, and if this is going to be the flashback that we get here in this episode, which, if that's the case, yeah, this is going to be really, really amazing. And then episode 4 is titled Everybody Wins a Prize, which is, for some reason, I feel like is related to the Marshal. Like, I'm viewing it like a bounty kind of thing, like somebody gets a prize for capturing Negan. It's also just sort of a saying, everybody wins a prize. And so, yeah, I wonder what's going to be happening around here with the story. And then episode 5 is titled Stories We Tell Ourselves, which is going to be the penultimate episode. So there's probably going to be a lot of really cool stuff there. Then episode 6 is titled Doma Smo, which apparently is Croatian, and it actually means we are home. So, yeah, there's going to be, I'm guessing in episode 6, some type of, maybe victory, I'm assuming, for the villain of the series. And I wonder if that's sort of where they're going here. Like, I really wonder if this first season is going to end in some sort of cliffhanger of sorts, or if the villain here is going to be getting some sort of victory here in a sense. And I could see them going down that route, because it seems like we are for sure getting a season 2. And if season 1 is like really good, and I'm talking like mind-blowingly really good, I definitely see the show getting a season 3. And the reason why I say that is because I see it getting a season 2 for sure. It's practically already confirmed. I think they're filming it, or they're about to film it. So they're going to do that. I imagine that even if season 2 ends up being bad, they're still going to renew it for a 3rd season, which that might end up being the final one. But I don't see the 2nd season getting worse or anything like that. Like, I think based off of where the story is and everything, I only see it really getting better, at least for the first couple of seasons before, things start to slow down a little bit, but obviously one season at a time, right? This episode, like I said, is the final episode and is likely going to be airing at some point around Comic-Con. Like, if you're actually going from week to week, yeah, I guess it would be like July 20th or July 23rd. So it's going to be airing the Sunday of Comic-Con weekend, I'm assuming, right? So that's actually kind of interesting, because there's probably going to be a lot of stuff. Yeah, actually, you know what? That makes perfect sense. Now that I'm looking at it like this, that's probably when they're going to announce that it's been renewed for a season 2, right? I think that actually makes a lot of sense, because people will be waiting for that final episode, and they're just going to announce it that Friday or Saturday at Comic-Con. They're just going to be like, yep, Dead City's been renewed for a season 2. We'll watch the final episode. I'm sure it's going to be really great, and we'll be like, just, yeah, really excited for it, right? Now, there are some like plot details that I guess sort of came out. I don't know if it's like the synopsis for these episodes, but I know episode 5, the plot is like truths are unearthed and motives are revealed as Maggie, Negan, and the others travel further into the city's depths. So it looks like they're going to be going underground, right, or under Manhattan, and sort of exploring all of that. They're going to be into the city's depths, and there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff that we see there. I imagine the fight with this really insane mutated walker is going to happen in this episode here. And yeah, I'm really interested, because like this sort of synopsis here, like truths are unearthed and motives are revealed. Like, what does that mean? That could, really relate to Maggie and or Negan and some stuff there. There could be a lot more stuff with the Croat, and some more details, regarding just like who he is in general, sort of his motivations. And there just might be some big reveals in this episode. And then obviously, I really do wonder if that mutated zombie has something to do with it. Maybe there's something a lot more sinister going on here overall, which would be crazy. Could you imagine if there was actually like a bigger plot here and it had something to do more with like mutated zombies and sort of like taking over the world or something like that? Like, could you actually imagine? I don't know if they would do something like that, because that's a little crazy, but having that walker that's like mutated, I feel like, there could be more behind that, right? So, but yeah, I'm very excited for Dead City. I really can't wait to watch this first episode. It's premiering in just less than a month now. Like, what is that, 30 days exactly, 29 days or something like that. I really cannot wait. I think this show is going to be really incredible based off of the early reviews for this episode, and some people have watched the episode. I've been seeing some online reaction. I see one right here from @Sonia Irina, and yeah, she says that Dead City has a really good story and that the opening credits are, I'm guessing, really good. So that's actually really interesting too. Like the opening credits for these shows are going to be different. So I'm really interested in seeing how different they're going to be. I'm excited for that. And also, the embargo was going to be lifting on June 13th. It seems like it looks like everyone has like all 6 episodes. I've been seeing a lot of online reaction, and like everyone has like literally the entire first season, but they can't say anything until June 13th. So yeah, that's gonna be something that I guess they're just gonna have to hold off on until then. And then on June 13th, I mean, we're going to have to be really, really careful because we don't want to get a bunch of spoilers and a lot of stuff leak about the show. I mean, I imagine it's going to happen, but luckily it's only going to be 6 episodes, so it's not like we have to avoid spoilers forever. And I imagine it's not going to be a lot of spoilers anyways. But yeah, I'm excited for Dead City. Definitely post your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.